Good morning. Welcome to your Sunday. One of my beloved nieces reached out to me and asked me about something that I didn't know had a name. And she mentioned it was called fraud syndrome. Maddie, fraud syndrome. And she explained it as waiting for the other shoe to drop or for people to find out that you're not who you really say you are. That fear that we all have that we're not really who we represent ourselves to be. At least that's my understanding of the way she explained it. And I get that. Boy, do I get that. When I'm driving with my license plate that announces that I'm a minister, and I'm not always the most patient driver. And so then I question, well, Rachel, what kind of minister are you when you can't even be kind while you're driving? Or sometimes when I'm feeling like my own well is kind of running empty, and a person may reach out to me for help and I just don't have it to give. And I feel bad. I feel like I'm letting down my oath, my vows as a minister, because I can't be there 100% for everyone 100% of the time. Does that make me a fraud? Does that make me a phony? What about the times when we want to share with somebody how we feel, and at the same time we may not feel 100% safe in doing that, and so we might play a little game with ourselves of saying, no, I'm okay. It's okay, it's not a problem. When there actually is a problem. In some way, when I do that, which I do, sometimes it's just because I'm not ready to share it yet. I just need time to process on my own before I share something. Sometimes it's that, well, I was just saying to someone the other day, they said, why don't you reach out for prayer? Why don't you reach out for support? And without even thinking, I responded, because I don't always think it'll help. Yeah, I know. Talk about an admission. A minister saying, I don't think prayer helps. That's not what I was saying. Just to clarify, that's not what I was saying. What I was saying is, for me, because I'm stubborn, and because I think that I can fix everything, and because I think I should be able to fix everything, I sometimes don't reach out for help. That's part of my fraud syndrome. Well, why should I reach out for help? I'm a minister. I should be able to fix this. I should be able to solve this. I should be able to understand this. I should be able to should. Whatever the should is. I should not be feeling this because I know better. Yeah, so here's the thing. While I'm in this Tupperware of this body, while my soul is being carried in this particular Tupperware container, I am a human being. Yes, that is true. I'm also a spiritual being having a human experience. Yes, I've heard that. And when I stub my toe, I'm not so spiritual about it. I'm very human about it when I stub my toe. I'm very human about it when my feelings get hurt. I'm very human about it when I feel afraid because of what I see around me. And then I have to remind myself, right, spiritual being having a human experience. This is, in the words of Course in Miracles, all a dream. It's all a movie. And I'm helping to create it. So I guess what it comes back to for me is spiritual responsibility. Taking spiritual accountability and responsibility helps me remember that I am not suffering from fraud syndrome, that I am simply moving through a moment of humanity, It's not weakness. It's not something to be embarrassed about. It's not something to shame ourselves about. Oh, please, God, let's stop shaming ourselves. It's just a moment of remembering, oh, right, human suit, soul Tupperware, right. We all do this. We all stub our toes. I'm very grateful to one of my precious beloved nieces for asking me to look at this. And of course, there's so much more that we could talk about, but it's already over 6 minutes, and I know that's longer than the average attention span these days. So I'm gonna cut it short. But just know that I'm with you. Know that we're all here. We're all walking each other home. And if anyone says differently, have compassion for them, because they're not really in it with us. Well, that's not true. They are really in it with us. They just don't want to be. Like I said, so much more to talk about. Have a great Sunday and a good holiday weekend. And please remember what tomorrow is really all about. It's not about cookouts. All right? Thanks to all of you for continuing to listen and to love Maddie. Thank you.